What's up, everybody, and welcome to another matchup from the Dota 2 Raidcall League. I am B-Ballin, bringing you game number 2 of the matchup between Empire and Liquid. Empire in the rain and Liquid on the dire. This match was postponed from Monday or Wednesday or something like that to today, which is Friday. Gotta get down with Dota on Friday, apparently. So, yeah, this is game number 2. You thought you could escape from the wrath of game 2, but no, you can't run, you can't hide. Game 2 is out to get you, and there's no stopping it. But Liquid, I expect to ban out the Batrider right here, but that does leave Darkseer and Undying stuffed in the pool. And I think Empire would probably pick up the Darkseer. Darkseer a bit more versatile, even though Empire do love to run an aggressive tri-lane, and Undying does do quite well in that regard. I think Darkseer overall is a bit more versatile of a pick, and picking up an Undying sort of signals that what you want to do in the laning phase. But yeah, just a couple little comments before this game truly gets underway. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm experimenting with 60 FPS for this cast, so hopefully you guys can enjoy it. I won't be able to stream. I have 60 FPS. My internet too crappy at the moment, but I'm going to try to record this game in 60 FPS, 1080p, all that jazz. Hopefully you guys will appreciate it, and we'll see if that actually makes a noticeable difference. Personally, I can't really tell the difference, but apparently some people do like to have that 60 FPS option. Liquid, are you going to choose the Undying here? If they leave Undying, Empire will most likely pick it up and run an aggressive tri-lane. But again, Undying in the game sort of signals that you are going to run an aggressive tri-lane, so Liquid can take appropriate countermeasures if they do decide to leave Undying left for Empire. May it be a bit more wise for Liquid to really pick up their support or maybe pick up their primary carry here. Anyway, a little bit of background information in the series. Liquid lost game number 1 in very quickly, let's say it politely. I think they lost in about 15 minutes, which was not really a good pick. I think they ran a Visage pick, and Visage sort of super risky hero, and if you don't win your challenge, then he pretty much becomes super useless as the game goes on, so I think Empire just completely dominated Liquid in that game. And Liquid's one of those teams that likes to sort of shake things up and as the series goes on. So we'll see if Liquid decides to go for a bit more of an unorthodox pick here, rather than something standard. I know Fluff is a huge fan of a multitude of different heroes, but it might actually help Liquid to try to pick down his style and just try to stick with one strategy, because they're not looking too sharp. Meanwhile, Empire looking extremely strong. I think they've only lost 1 or 2 of their last 10 games, beating teams like Dignitas and Navi, albeit with the stand-in on the side of Navi instead of Dendi. And Empire have just been looking super sharp. As Empire are going to solidify their tri-lane, Darkseer offlane, Undying keep the light tri-lane. So if Liquid gets matched up with their China up against the Undying Keeper of the Light Trial, they're pretty much screwed. Like, there's no other way to say it. Illuminate, Chakra Magic, Console Your Feeling, Undying, Decay. Whoever Liquid decides to match up against that Trial is going to be pretty much out of the equation for the vast majority of the early game. So hopefully Liquid can predict where the Trial is going, and this is sort of where the mind games come in, because Empire know that they're going to run an aggressive Trial, and Liquid's going to take appropriate countermeasures to stop that, but they might try to switch their Trial bottom to sort of do that, but maybe Empire will predict that and actually go bottom as well. It's just a huge mind game when Undying and Keeper of the Light picked up on the same side to see where you can position your tri-lane to get the maximum amount of damage. You know, Liquid has a very strong ganker in the form of Shallot, even has a pretty solid carry in the form of Luna. And yeah, just waiting on what they're going to choose here. They probably should pick up maybe their mid-soul or their offlane hero here, but I mean, it's a little bit risky to pick up their offlane hero so soon, but they're going to pick up the Naga Siren. And I'm not too sure what role Naga will play. I don't know if it'll be Eternal Envy Naga Siren-esque, where you just sort of dual roam with that Naga Siren. I mean, Disruption and Net, pretty good at locking down a person in place. But I feel like Naga Siren definitely does benefit from a lot of farm and a lot of levels. But we'll see. This could be a support Naga Siren run by Fluff. I think they ran it in one of their scrimmages, if I remember watching that game right. I think Luminous has a VOD up somewhere, or maybe Purge does. But it looks like both teams are starting to ban out mid-solo heroes. Empire have their offlane, and they have 2 components of their tri-lane, so all they need is their carry and their mid laner. So they could decide to still run a dual lane mid potentially, but still, it's probably going to be a mid-solo and some sort of orthodox carry that will really get them through the game. As one of Liquid's members does disconnect, and Liquid probably going to continue to ban out mid-solo heroes. I mean, there's just way too many carries. Although it might suit Liquid to ban out some of Empire's saver carries, whether it be Clinkz or something like that for Funic. But they're gonna ban on Bane. Interesting ban. I'm not too sure about that because I guess they could have done offlane Undying, Empire could do, and do Darkseer jungle, but Bane really is a trial in here for Empire, and I mean, if Empire did run Undying, Keeper like Bane trialing, I guess Undying would get the most of the farm, but still, I don't honestly think Empire would have chosen Bane in this scenario, because they already have 2 components, and 2 supportive components of their trialing already. Meanwhile, Liquid, or Empire, thinking long and hard about the Broodmother, saying, alright, want to get rid of as many annoying offlane and mid-solo heroes that are pretty hard to kill, so we're going to get rid of Queen of Pain, Broodmother, pretty mobile offlane heroes who are pretty difficult to kill. Or they could potentially go mid as well, and Magnus also fits into that equation. Considering Empire doesn't really have anything like a Shadow Demon or a net to help set up a kill, Magnus with the Skewer can really get out of there easily. But, I mean, Liquid could toy with something like a Windrunner if they really had to do that, because Windrunner, not really too threatened. Again, not too much lockdown provided in this trial by Empire. You know, Liquid again about the Gyrocopter, I think that's probably a carry ban. But that does leave Clinkz left in the pool, so maybe this is just sort of a mind game saying, Empire, go ahead, pick up the Clinkz, you know you want to. Funic really wants that Clinkz, as I'm assuming Gold over is Funic. But yeah, Empire thinking long and hard. We'll see if they choose their mid-solo or their carry. I mean, their carry probably is most likely going to be Clinkz because they've had such great success with Clinkz that, I mean, why deviate from what works for them?
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, Liquid has decent countermeasures against it. They have Net, which does stop Clinkz from going invisible. They have Purge to slow down Clinkz. They have Luna, who doesn't do that well against Clinkz, but still, I mean, she's okay. As Empire, gonna choose that Clinkz for Funic, most likely. We'll see if that's a mid-solo Clinkz or a safe trialing. Probably gonna be... Maybe they're gonna do Darkseer trialing and just try to completely overwhelm Liquid and just try to push down as many towers as possible. Because Clinkz, when Empire runs him, really wants to be either in a solo or a dual lane to try to get as much experience as possible and just really try to get that Orchid up ASAP.
10 seconds remaining.
Meanwhile, Liquid gonna pick up their secondary support in the form of Disruptors, so... I wonder how Liquid's gonna lane. So I guess they're gonna do a dual lane mid with Disruptor or Shadow Demon combined with one of the carries. I think probably Luna, maybe Nagastar in safe lane. But right now they don't really have an off-lane candidate, so they might be forced to run an aggressive trial up against a trial of Undying and Keeper the Light, which seems to me like a very bad idea. But I don't know, maybe Liquid has some other things in mind. Maybe they're just going to predict where Empire is going to send their trial and rotate accordingly. But still, it doesn't really look that great for Liquid in their picks, in my honest opinion. I'm not too sure. Keep in mind, I'm still pretty much a scrub. I don't have anybody pro commentating with me, so this is all just my personal opinion. But Empire, we can sort of guess what they're going to pick up here. Probably their mid-solo, or even maybe an offlane if they want to put Darkseer in the jungle. But most likely their carry, their hard carry, that will help solidify the Undying Keeper the Light trialing. And hopefully a carry with the stun, so that way the Undying Keeper the Light trialing can really lock down and really keep whatever heroes Liquid decides to put against them just completely miserable. But Empire going to choose Leshrac instead, so interesting lanes. I'm not honestly too sure how to predict these lanes just yet, but I'm sure as the game picks up, as soon as the players pick up their heroes, we'll sort of predict where they're going right now. But I'm not going to make any sort of guesses, as we're going to see that unorthodox picks in the form of Ursa Warrior by Liquid, so that Fuzzy Wuzzy going to hopefully play a huge role in this game. And Ursa is sort of like Clinkz. He does a lot of damage in the mid-game, although he doesn't carry nearly as hard in the late game. But he does get very powerful very quickly, and he can definitely do a lot of damage to heroes like Undying. Even Darkseer, if he gets stunned or netted for one instance, Ursa can just rip through him, especially with Soul Catcher. So there's definitely an advantage for having Ursa on your team, but there is a disadvantage as well, where Ursa sort of just falls off the map after around the 25-30 minute mark. He's not really the most tankiest of heroes. He needs to be up close, in your face. Ghost Scepter counters him, Force Staff counters him, stuns if the BKB is down does counter him, and Surge, which Darkseer is on the side of Empire, does do quite well up against the Ursa, as there's going to be multiple disconnects by Liquid. And keep in mind, only Clinkz is probably going to pick up BKB, maybe Leshrac, so Surge can definitely be casted on a multitude of different heroes in this game. As I forgot to turn off directed camera. keep in mind, if you want an alternative version of this cast, check out myeg.net, or sorry, youtube.com/myegnet, or twitch.tv/OneMoreGameTV2 for AC's version of this cast. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this 60 FPS magnificent, glorious, crystal clear viewing. I honestly don't care whether the FPS is 60 or 30 when I watch my videos. But still, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I have this computer, and this is the first time I'm going to attempt a 60 FPS cast. I'm just like, maybe I should try to do that. But mostly I decided to do that just to sort of switch things up. Because, quite honestly, this is where the cast that I have is just like... I mean, it's Friday. Do I really want to cast a Dota? It's really, 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 really cold. It's about 14 degrees Fahrenheit, which is probably about like -5 or 6 degrees Celsius. It's completely miserable outside. I'm completely miserable San Diego. It's just, oh man, can't go out because it's Friday. It's just really, really cold, and nobody wants to go out now. So it's just like, do I want to cast? So really, not really the greatest motivation. But I was like, hey, let's switch things up. Let's go 60 FPS. Holy crap! Maybe we'll get some more extra motivation. And when I saw the Ursa right now, I'm super stoked. And hopefully Liquid can be super stoked as well and take this game to a Game 3, because again, they have been looking the most promising, as they're going to see Bulba playing Disruptor. Wow, this is already interesting players picking up heroes. If you don't know Bulba, then you know he plays either mid-solo or offlane, but Bulba is going to play Disruptor, so it's going to be a Disruptor who gets a decent amount of farm. What is Liquid going to do with this? Well, we'll introduce the players in team nonetheless. So it's going to go back once again playing the Undying, as he seems to always do. SS playing the Keeper Light, Scandal playing the Darkseer. Scandal usually the mid-solo player for Empire, but looks like he might be in the Tron capacity, has Ring of Protection, either for Tranquils or Ring of Basilius for early pushing. Bullier is on the Leshrac, as looks like Empire fear the level 1 Roshan Agent, so they're just going to go in. But Empire does have pretty strong level 1 heroes, so I don't know if Liquid necessarily want to go in anyway when they chose the Ursa. And we have Funic playing his trademark Clinkz. I assume this is Funic, Golvarez, or whatever it is. Golovarez. Meanwhile, on the side of Liquid, we have TC playing the Ursa. Looks like Korok is playing the Luna, Fluff is playing the Naga Silence, so it is going to be support Naga. Bulba is playing the Disruptor, and IX Mike is playing Shadow Demon once again. So we'll just take a look at the items as we see some wards being placed already by Liquid. This ward will time out at 6-minute mark, or before 6-minute mark, so we won't see the 6-minute rune. And it will allow movement for the middle lane to transition to different lanes, as you see a similar ward being placed by Empire, but this ward will last a little bit longer. But Liquid expects a lot of aggression on this top lane, which is why it looks like they've concentrated most of their wards on this top lane thus far. As Nagasign immediately going to do a D ward, Golbot can't really do anything to stop him, just going to hit Fluff once, and Nagasign's just like, whatever, I have 6 armor, what are you going to do about Undying? I mean, Undying has 1 armor due to that Riptide, but at least Fluff sort of reveals the fact that he has Riptide L1, as looks like SS ventured a bit too far. You don't want to come around in this neighborhood, as Luna is super fast, faster than Keeper Light, might be able to catch up. No salve on the Keeper Light, so you can't pop it, as Croc is going to get stunned. Nicely played by Empire, blow your brain. IX Mike is on the retreat. Croc is in a little bit of an awkward situation. Undying does raid Supreme, but Fluff casts another Riptide. I think Fluff might be regretting the fact that he did get that Riptide instead of the net, because if he had net, they would have gotten a kill for sure. But Korok going to be very low in terms of HP, and nice body blocking by Fluff. Undying pretty high base movement speed, so disruption by IX Mike going to seal that, but no salves on the side of Liquid for the most part. So it's going to be a long time before they get themselves back into the lane. Meanwhile, Undying, does he have a salve? No, nobody has salves, interestingly enough. Maybe they used it, escaping from that engagement, I'm not too sure, but we're going to see a mid-solo Disruptor, and I remember when I played Disruptor all the time, as IX Mike just going to suicide to neutrals, allows him to get back to full HP and full mana very quickly at a minimal cost, and does allow Fluff to get a bit more experience, hopefully to get that net up very, very soon. But Liquid should honestly be expecting this tri-line aggression. I mean, there's an Undying and Keeper the Light on the side, and looks like Blower Brain is going to be farming with that Leshrac. I do like a farming Leshrac quite a bit. I feel like Leshrac, he does pretty well without farm, but he's a hero that sort of does really, really well with farm. BKB, Bloodstone, Aghanims just increase the versatility of his spells so much that it's really just super nice if you're a Leshrac and you can get that farm. And looks like Empire going to give Blower Brain that farm in this game. But yeah, Liquid probably should have suspected that there would be a tri-line run against them, as this ward's still in place, so it's going to spot the movement of SS a little bit. But Liquid just going to keep pulling and pulling, denying the creep wave Korok. Relatively safe. Again, the problem with this is that there's no real setup stun in place to help land that Leshrac split earth. And Luna does have very high base movement speed, so this Tron probably won't get too many kills unless Blurbrain does some magnificent mind games and really sets up a beautiful stun. But still, pretty hard to land that level 1 split earth effectively, as TC going to be in the off-lane position. And I guess this is why Liquid sort of ran that tri-lane versus tri-lane, despite them having a pretty big disadvantage. They want TC to get solo experience, they want to get TC going as soon as possible, and they just want to have TC get that early Roshan and really provide a huge mid-game factor. As the Star Central Ward does spot out the Observer Ward by Empire, but the Illuminate does steal an Ogre creep. IXMech does reveal the fact that he knows about the Observer Ward. Has a nice play by SS. That doesn't actually do anything, but it's just a little bit cheeky. Saying SS is just going to deny the Observer Ward, saying, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction IXMech to destroy our Observer Ward. We're just going to kill it ourselves. But Bulba doing quite well against Funic. Funic does have a second Sage's Mask, has 2 salves with him so he can stay in lane, but Bulba putting a couple points into that Lightning Strike has bottle. Will have pretty good rune control, even though Clinkz has higher movement speed with that Wind Walk, or Skeleton Walk as it's called in this game. But Disruptor has a better nuke, and he has potential AoE if that nuke is casted on the creeps. But he's just going to cast it onto Clinkz and really drive Clinkz away, forcing Clinkz to use a lot of salves very early on, and Funic actually having a pretty difficult time, but still managing to get 19 CS. He's just going to guess that there's a rune top, but unfortunately he is going to guess wrong. Very unfortunate for him, but still did not lose any experience, so all he lost was a little bit of mana, which he'll regenerate very quickly with that Sage's Mask. Meanwhile, Fluff going to rotate in, does have a point to net, almost level 3, so maybe once Fluff hits level 3, Empire might be a little bit thrown back. Maybe Liquid will play a bit more aggressive, but I really doubt it. I mean, he never really want to charge against an Undying or Keeper of the Light, so I really doubt Liquid will be aggressive in this time. They're just trying to get whatever far and what experience and just try to mitigate the impact that Keeper of the Light and Undying have in the laning phase, where they are probably at their strongest. Well, Undying is for the most part. You know, Undying pretty strong in teamfights as well. Meanwhile, TC 22 CS, so all these carries farming relatively well. The only carry who's not farming well is Luna, but Luna honestly can't really be expected to farm too well. She is being pressured by a tri-lane. A very, very powerful tri-lane at that. But both teams playing pretty passively at the moment. Keep in mind that one kill was just off the neutral kill, so first blood has yet to be claimed on either side just yet, as Fluff just going to neutral it up with that Riptide. Pulling creeps, so interesting. Jungle Nagasara, new meta. And we'll see if Fluff starts to roam. Keep in mind the net, when it's casted, does not allow Clinkz to go invisible, or if he just gets into that invisibility, it will keep him revealed. So that is definite benefit for having that net up on the side of Liquid, as Bulba and Funic going to trade hits. Bulba out of mana at the moment, but does have a Smoke to See. Interestingly enough, he decided to show that he has a Smoke to See. Not too sure why, but he does show it. I guess he expects to gank very, very soon. But you can see Funic, a lot of salves. We'll see if he keeps ferrying himself salves. Keep in mind that every salve Clinkz ferries himself is 100 gold that he's not putting towards his Orchid, so it's not really the best situation for Clinkz to constantly ferry himself salves. And meanwhile, TC finished up the Tranquil Boot, so he should be pretty good. As Bulba gonna unable to pick up the rune, but Clinkz not gonna receive HP or mana regen from that. So Bulba probably not too miffed. He's just got to bottle Crow it up a little bit. As the Crow going to be sent back mid, it's going to deliver the Tranquil Boots to Korok, give IXMech some ward. So Liquid playing pretty solidly at this point, but still, I mean, playing solid against Empire doesn't really mean too much in the early stages of the game. I mean, Empire's super aggressive in their challenges for the most part, but Empire really, really strong in the mid to late stages of the game. Their teamwork is very, very good. And considering Liquid already in an early deficit in this series, 0-1, Liquid definitely can't take Empire lightly, and I'm sure they know that. I'm sure they know how good Empire is, and I'm sure Empire knows how good Liquid is. But Clinkz does have access to Death Pact of giving some bonus HP, and keeping him in the lane. Does have a lot of regen with those Sage's Mask, so Bulba can't really do as good a job in terms of harassment, and actually, because of Death Pact being able to eat a big creep, it's actually significantly boosted Clinkz's experience growth. And keep in mind, he does have a Skeleton Walk, so he ensures that he never misses a creep if he decides to eat a big creep. But so far, game is going pretty passively for the most part. Um, I wonder if Fluff with Bulba, once Bulba hits full mana, if Fluff can go for a gank onto Clinkz. I think that's a good option, as Bulba's going to smoke up. No Dire Ward's in position just yet, as Go Black going to D-ward it up. Sentry Ward is going to spy it out, but Bulba is level 7. Does he has 2 points in the Glimpse. He's going to cast the Glimpse as the disruption's going to go on. Looks like they're going to kill at least SSS is taking a bunch of damage. He's going to die. Go Black going to cast Decay. Korok's being held in place. The zombie house has spawned as Ix Mike going to cast Shout Poison, but a nice teleport top by Scandal. And looks like Undying still reigns supreme in these early game engagements. Bulba gonna cast Connect Field, preventing the onslaught, but a nice vacuum by Scandal. Scandal might kill Fluff. He does kill Fluff. Will he pay for it with his life? He does, as the Lightning Storm and the Elusive Beam is enough damage to kill off the Darkseer. So 2 for 2. Keep in mind, Liquid did get the first blood, but still, Clinkz and Ursa gonna trade farms, and Clinkz gonna apply a bit of pressure. So I'm not too sure who ultimately came out in that advantage. I think probably Liquid a bit because they got the first blood kill and they saved their carry. But ultimately just 225 gold for the most part in the pockets of Liquid. As looks like Fluff gonna rotate mid lane, try to get some experience. Hopefully get access to the Song of Siren, keep in mind Song of Siren at level 1. 180-second cooldown, 3 minutes. That is an eternity in Dota for an ultimate. Meanwhile, let's see if TC goes for Vlad's first, or if he goes for Fast Blink Dagger. Not too sure. We'll disassemble the Tranquil Boots to eventually build Vlad's, I imagine. I'm sure they want to go for early game Roshan. But still, if he does go for that, then Scandal might have a pretty good time in terms of just pushing the lane. As Liquid, again, going to play defensively. Korok level 6. Meanwhile, Empire, only Blurbrain's level 6, already has a point booster, so it looks like it's either going to be Bloodstone or Aghanim. Most likely Bloodstone in this game, as the tower's going to get pushed. And there's really not too much that Liquid can do. What level is that Tombstone? It is level 2, as he picked up a second point to Soul Rip, interestingly enough. As usually you put up a second point Decay, as we did see a gank by Bulba and Fluff. I'm sure it was net into everything. Static Storm with Silence Kinetic Field. You can sort of guess what happened, but my bad. I was focusing on this very, very interesting Undying skill load. It's so interesting that I'm just literally shuddering with pleasure. I'm gonna stop now, because this is getting a bit awkward. So meanwhile, Luna having a pretty difficult time, probably gonna get a Bracer. Yep, so gonna go for the standard Drums build on Luna, making her super fast, super furious, Tokyo drifting it up. As Ix Mike trying to hit level 6, but might just get ganked. Blurbrain is invisible, but Blurbrain not able to get in a good enough position to gank Ix Mike. And I like what Liquid's doing, trying to get as much experience as possible, as TC's going to get warded off, as here comes Blue rotating in, but Undying, again, no stun to his name. Can't really do too much, as Lumisen versus playing Dota 2. But Bulba, again, doing a good job. Every time his ult's on off of cooldown, he's gone to gank, and has participated in all 3 of Liquid's kills thus far. But again, Undying, or yeah, I mean, there's not really too much that Liquid can do once the push does come in. Searing Arrows, Zombie House, constantly scaring away Liquid. As Clinkz somehow manages to kill off Ix Mike, looks like Fluff gonna slow down Clinkz for a bit, but Fluff can't really do too much to stop it. As I'm sure Fluff really wanted that Song of Sign. He is gonna finally hit level 6, but a little bit too late to save Ix Mike. As is there gonna be another engagement up in the middle lane? No, it doesn't look like it, but there might be an engagement on the bottom lane, as here comes the Ursa Warrior. Glimpse gonna send the Darkseer right back, and here comes the Stack Storm as well. Might have been a bit overkill, but really don't want to underestimate Darkseer's movement speed capacity with that surge, and just gonna play safe rather than sorry, as TC gonna pick up a very early Blink Dagger, so I'm probably not gonna attempt a super early Roshan solo kill. We'll probably try to kill Roshan eventually, as Korok gonna get driven away by Funic, gonna hurt for quite a bit. Funic already making his way towards that Orchid very, very quickly. 63 CS. Funic is a master of that Bone Fletcher. But the question is, what items will Bulba go for? Has a phase suit, it's giving a lot of mobility, but I imagine he's gonna go for Mech. Ix Mike probably not gonna go for Mech, so I imagine it's gonna be Disruptor Mecha and Force Staff. As I think Liquid will definitely benefit from Mech, either to save the life from a Clinkz gank, or just to mitigate some of that Leshrac AoE. Mecha, always a good option. As Blurbrain, taking 2 towers, not yet satisfied, gonna push down a 3rd with that Edict, level 3, gonna melt that tower relatively fast. As will Liquid try to defend this? I think we're starting to see the flaws with Liquid strategy, but here comes the Song of Siren initiation. The TP is going by super slow. Connect Field's being casted, but no Stack Storm just yet. Scandal is in a lot of trouble as Golak already died, and Scandal's gonna get Nay in place. Illuminate's gonna fly in. Here comes Funic doing a huge amount of damage. He's gonna get the Searing Arrow kill as the Courier just gonna fly on, delivering an item, but overall that did favor Liquid as here comes another Glimpse back. Eclipse is gonna be used just to seal the fate of Blurrbane, and Annette is going to come in, catching SS off guard. SS is in a lot of trouble. SS is going to die as well. Korok trying to get enough mana, does manage to pick up the last two without expending any mana. Beautiful engagement for Liquid, but again, 3-minute long cooldown, so I don't know if Empire is actually going to be too dissuaded by this defeat. I'm sure they're going to say, oh, we probably shouldn't have done that, but now, I mean, they have 3 minutes where they want to push against the Song of Siren, which sets up that easy form initiation. And that's, I guess, why we're seeing a bit more Naga Siren support, because she initiates from so far away as Funic is gonna go to town onto Korok. Golak is trying to get in position. One more hit by Funic. Oh man, Skeleton Walk is on cooldown. Disruption is in place. Purge is gonna be casted on Funic as 50-second cooldown, not the worst use of Purge, but my X-Mike gonna really charge in bravely, and he's gonna self-destruct himself. Here comes Stack Storm. Funic is gonna take a bunch of damage. Stack Storm doing so much work as Ursa does manage to pick off Leshak. Fluff is in a lot of trouble. Fluff might just get Iron Shell to death. Meanwhile, Bubba does kill off the Clinkz, and Liquid with their really odd strategy somehow managing make things work at this point. Even without the Naga Siren ultimate, as Golak in a little bit of trouble. Gonna finally drop the Tombstone. It is a level 4 Tombstone, but TC immediately gonna melt it. I think it was actually level 3 Tombstone, as Liquid forced to back off right now. No, still level 2 Tombstone. Meanwhile, TC does have that dagger up. He wants blood, he smells blood, gonna immediately Thunderclap and just Earthshock with the help of Glimpse, and sort of we see the viability of Disruptor Ursa. Just saying, how are you gonna run from Ursa when you have Glimpse on our side? But Liquid gonna try to take this momentum. Looks like they're not gonna try to get a Roshan engagement, as they don't really have the map control. They are a help ahead in terms of 6 kills, but still are down by 3 towers, which is pretty significant in terms of Roshan control at this point in the game. But here comes Ursa with the haste and Blur Rain. You are dead, my friend. You are dead. It's just a matter of time. Meanwhile, Connect Field gonna hold Scandal in place. Here comes the Listen Beam onto Golak. Earthshock being casted all the while. Soul Catcher onto Scandal doing a bunch of damage. Gonna pop a Mechanism. Can he escape? One last hit from a Disruptor does seal the deal, as Liquid, man, taking it to Empire, despite Empire having a really strong mid-game lineup. They have Keeper of the Light, they have Undying, they have Darkseer, they have Leshak, a farming Leshak at that. I would have thought for sure they'd have the edge in these mid-game teamfights, but just the relentlessness of Liquid, super powerful in these early game engagements, as we're going to get our first pause of the game. It's not a Dota game, unless it's a pause. But, just checking out the early game farm, looks like Rain have a slight goal advantage from the 3 towers. Experience advantage heavily in favor of Liquid, and that's pretty significant if you can get IX Mike, Naga Siren as much experience as possible, being that they're in support capacities. They will just scale super well, but Funic making his way towards the Orchid. Is it on the Courier? Yes, it is. So now Funic can go for solo ganks, which is definitely not what Liquid want to have happen in the early stages of the game. As Funic 2-2, not having the best game thus far, but now he's gonna be able to get those solo ganks going, and he already ate a creep. He might just go on to Korok. Korok does have access to Eclipse very soon. Probably can just run away if he pops the drums and the magic wand. So Funic probably not gonna initiate until he gets that Orchid. Wants to have a bit of that soul burn damage to really amplify the damage if Korok gets away with that drums. Meanwhile, just taking out some other items. Keeper Light super poor, but Keeper Light can pick up farm wherever he wants. Go Black pretty poor as well, level 6 at this point. Not doing the best. Blur Rain on the other hand, gonna go for that Bloodstone again. Very, very good item for a sort of semi-carry oriented Leshak or carry oriented Leshak. As Funic gonna shadow Korok all the way, but there's gonna be rotation by Fluff. Funic wants to initiate soon. His Death Pact is gonna be cooling down in about 4 or 5 seconds. Gonna finally pop it. He's cutting off Korok's escape path. One more hit. Korok trying to escape. Funic is gonna go invisible. Song of Siren. Oh man, not in range to catch off Funic, and that's another 3 minutes where Song of Siren is gonna be on cooldown. So that's a very, very costly death by Korok. I think Fluff was trying to tell Korok, alright, run this way, but Funic positioned himself so that if somebody comes in from this direction, Korok would have to run through a couple more auto attacks to get through the Clinkz and just really be in a difficult situation as Disruptor getting a wicked 6 streak. Meanwhile, Funic getting initiated by the Ursa, but TC forced back off. Here comes Fluff, but doesn't have access into the Song of Siren. Ursa trying to go to town. Meanwhile, Bulba already level 12, really doing a sensational job at this point. And he's going to have max spells very early on. Disruptor spells are really powerful. Once they're all max kinetic field, holding people in place for a good amount of time. Not really anything that can be countered until somebody gets a 4-step. But here comes Funic 8, another big creep. Might just initiate very soon. Gonna initiate onto Bulba as here comes the net. Can Funic run away? Gonna duke it out mono versus Ursa, and Funic is winning. Funic is winning. Eclipse is gonna be casted, but no! Holy smokes, Funic with that death pack creep, that bonus HP, too good. Can't kill him. He bone fletches for a living as he's gonna eat another creep very, very soon. And now Liquid suddenly losing a lot of momentum from these engagements. And you can sort of see how much they rely on either Static Storm or the net to really set up their team fight. Otherwise, just the enormous amount of pressure by Empire really just starts to take its toll against Liquid. X-Mike gonna scout the Roshan, but really not too much they can do. They will have Static Storm off, so if they can delay a little bit longer, Bulba will be back in the picture, so Empire might be in a little trouble if they try to continue for this Roshan attempt. Liquid can potentially reinforce it as X-Mike continues scaling it out, but the Roshan's starting to die, and it's finally gonna die. TC roars up, trying to get the Roshan, saying, "This is my Roshan, bitches," as X-Mike somehow manages to kill Scandal with the Purge and the Shadow Poison, but here comes Funic. Funic gonna kill off Fluff. TC forced to retreat as Empire regaining a huge boost of momentum. But Liquid will have access to their ultimates up very, very soon. So, might not be the wisest decision for Empire to seek another engagement super early on. But then again, Funic is just going to get more and more powerful as this game goes on. And Korok really not farming too well under a lot of pressure. Has not found too many openings and really can't solo farm at all. Because Funic does have that Orchid up now. So Korok in a really difficult position at this point. Going to be very far away from whatever Emin goes for. Whether it be BKB, Yasha, whatever it might be. But it's going to be a long time until we see a huge item up on Korok. You know, TC picked up a pretty early Blink Dagger, but still pretty far away from his own item. As I feel like Ursa loses a lot of momentum if you can't get that early Roshan kill. And Blink Dagger really, really helpful in these engagements. Allows Ursa to get up close and personal. But still. Liquid just doesn't really have that early game firepower to match up against Empire unless they have their ultimates online. And Static Storm, pretty short cooldown, same cooldown as Dream Coil, but still. They want the Song of Siren as well, they want to have Eclipse. Meanwhile, Empire can just take fights whenever they want. And they're just going to play patient. They have the Aegis up, there's really not too much to worry about as Funic probably making his way, already has a crystal stuff, can pick up a solo kill if he chooses to do so. Disruption, oh, Orchid Soul Burn coming in place as the disruption is going to be cast, but Funic does not care. Song of Siren is going to be used to hold Clinkz in place, but Fluff not going to try to teleport out, not going to try to run away, otherwise he will just get killed. Going to hide himself in the fog, going to cast that Static Storm, but no detection, and that's another 85 seconds where looks like a Liquid can't really take a nice team fight. And that is the cue for Empire to start pushing in. They're saying no Static Storm is up, no Song of the Siren. They use both ultimates, couldn't even kill the Aegis. Let's go get him, guys. As I think Liquid not used to the pressure that Empire is applying. And Funic Clinkz, man. It's legit.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And keep in mind, Empire picked it up in the second pick phase. I'm not sure Liquid just didn't ban it out entirely. But it's going to cost them a tier 2. And again, they're really waiting on that Static Storm to be up at the very least. And it's going to be on cooldown for the next 40 seconds. Going to allow Empire to stroll in very confidently. They do have the mecha up on Darkseer. Don't have a pipe or anything like that. No charges on the earth. But still, Leshrac has a Bloodstone. He has a lot of mana regen. And he's going to get more and more powerful as that Bloodstone picks up charges. But Empire, funnily enough, just going to back off. Top tower is being pressured as it's going to be a glimpse backward onto Blow Your Brain. But Liquid very hesitant to take this fight. They want that Static Storm up at the very least. And they don't have access to that. And looks like the tower is going to be just fine. Still at a relatively high amount of HP. Roshan will respawn in about 3.5 to 3 minutes. So Empire still has a lot of time. Look at Funic's levels. Holy crap. Just checking out the levels really fast. Funic! 3 levels ahead of anybody else on Liquid. And he's going to have that Daedalus up very soon. It's not even bothering to get BKB. Because it's Really, really difficult to burst down Funic at this stage. As you can see, gold graph hugely in favor of the Rain after the successful team fights and after there is a 4-tower lead in favor of Empire. Keep in mind, no tower denies going on, as looks like there might be pursuit onto Scandal. No, just some Naga Siren Illusions. Gonna get glimpsed back, gonna get Connect Field as well. Gonna use another Stack Storm. Gonna try to kill Scandal. They are gonna kill Scandal at the very least. And I guess they assume that since Stack Storm pretty short cooldown, and without a Darkseer, they wanted the mech up, so pretty good usage of Stack Storm there. Because Empire, I imagine, don't really want to push without the mecha up, or even that vacuum. So that's allowing Liquid more time. Roshan will take his Aegis back very, very soon. And the question is, what will Clinkz do to sort of keep up the momentum? As checking out the experience graph, you can see the huge arc, literally a roller coaster ride. Well, let's see if Liquid can just make that sharp dive back down towards in favor of them, or the Empire will just keep climbing up and up. As it's pretty early to call. Keep in mind the supports of Liquid do scale pretty well. Naga Siren naturally scales very well. Shadow Demon always remains pretty relevant as the game goes on. But just the amount of farm on Korok really worries me for Team Liquid. They're just not really having any openings to farm up. Korok really just not having enough room to farm up under threat of that Orchid Silence. And Blurrbane picks up a very easy tower. Meanwhile, TC trying to make his way towards the BKB. Will have it up in about 650 gold. But still, we'll see if Empire allows Liquid to keep farming up. Darkseer is back alive. I think they know the Roshan will reclaim his Aegis very, very soon. They don't want to waste it. They're going to push in. They have the mech up. They have the Darkseer up. They have pretty much all the items they need on Leshrac and the Keeper of the Light. Well, not yet the Force Staff. As Empire, not really the team that sort of likes to wait around as Bulba. No, Bulba! Oh, wow, Funic. Not getting his silence off. He would have gotten the kill for sure with that soul burn. A little bit of misplay there by Funic. Maybe he just wanted to scare Bulba away. Maybe he felt like the cooldown of Orchid. 18 seconds would have been too long. I'm not too sure, but probably just a momentary lapse in judgment. Keep in mind, pro players are humans. They do make mistakes. But I'm sure Bulba, thanking the Dota gods that Funic did not use that soul burn on him, otherwise he definitely would have popped like a balloon. And Disruptor picks up a pretty early gem. I think he picked it up because they know Aegis will be down, so no real danger of Clinkz coming in. But Clinkz ate another giant creep. 1900 HP on Clinkz, doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Man, this hero is scary once he gets his momentum rolling. But there's going to be a smoke attempt by Liquid. Looks like the Dire did sense something's up. Here comes the glimpse back on the Golback. They're going to initiate on Golback. Will they use a Static Storm there? They are not going to bother. I like this move by Liquid a lot. They know how important Static Storm is for their ultimate engagements, but unfortunately TC might just pay the price as Song of Sign is going to be used. Eclipse was used as well. A little bit of miscommunication there, probably just a little bit of panic sync. Let's save TC, you guys. Glove immediately pop that Song of Sign as Connect Field going to slow down the assault of Empire. But at least, at the very least, Liquid does have access into that Static Storm. Meanwhile, Golback is dead. So a very nice engagement by Liquid, even though they did use two ultimates. Two good ultimates at that. And Eclipse being on cooldown might just make the difference in a team fight, considering Clinkz does not have a BKB. But Empire just going to take it slow. And Scandal, caught out of position yet again, can't surge away, going to get netted in. As he's just gonna pop like an absolutely shattering ice balloon. That's not even a real thing. Well, I guess it's sort of a real thing. I mean, if you put a water balloon in the freezer. But I'm sure you could probably die if you throw that water balloon at somebody. Not that I've ever done that. I do not condone these actions. B-Balling's all about the kids. B-Balling's for the kids, motherfuckers. As Funic spies Aluna gonna burst into flames with those searing arrows planted firmly into her Panther. As Funic, after the age expired, went back into BKB. Smart decision by Funic, as Bulba unable to deny that tower, and looks like Empire starting to get the momentum back. Again, Korok really just no room to farm up. And no fault by him, just really suffocating play by Empire. And let's just count the stuns on Liquid. They have Disruption, which isn't really stun because it removes somebody out of the battle. They have Net, which you can attack through, or you can cast spells through. And they have Static Storm, which you can attack through. Other than that, Liquid has very little stuns. Actually, they have 0 true disables, to put it bluntly. So Liquid might have gone a little bit overboard because Clinkz super mobile.
Is under attack.
Really doesn't care as long as he doesn't get stunned in place. But Liquid's still very much in this game again. They've been making a nice comeback. Still ahead in terms of kills. Korok will get his BKB in about 500 gold if he can find the room, but still, where will he find the room? That is the real question. Empire placing some very aggressive wards. Meanwhile, Liquid gonna fortify the next Roshan area with their own wards, placing a pretty unconventional Observer ward. But that will spot the Roshan movement at the very least, because it does see this area. And they're just going to place a bit more of a standard ward. As Liquid all grouping up, not really to smoke, just saying, alright Funic, you're not going to kill us when we're all being butt buddies. The TC's had his BKB for a bit, 10 seconds still up on it, so that could be pretty significant. Any Ghost Scepter's up just yet, looks like Blower Brain going to go for that BKB. Darkseer still has that surge up, 4 staff on side of the Keeper of the Light. Looks like Undying gonna have his arcane boots, but look at the damage being outputted by Funic. Not even a Daedalus just yet, as Alex might gonna shot poison up. The ward does spot at the movement, as looks like Liquid do want to engage us. They're gonna smoke up. TC did reveal himself with the roaring noises. There's gonna be a glimpse back for Keeper of the Light, but nice 4 staff. Kinetic Field gonna be on cooldown for just a couple of seconds, but that is gonna cost Empire their Tombstone. And the creep's not pushing in. Liquid gonna go in. They do have Song of Sign to really get them out of jail for free. But IX might just pay for his life. Nice Blinding Light, gonna trap IX Mike in a really awkward position. Here comes the Song of Sign. Can Bulba get the Static Storm in place? Really trying to wait as long as possible, but he blew the Kinetic Field as here comes the Static Storm. Gonna hold Goldblock in place with the Kinetic Field. Cool down a little bit too rapidly. A little bit miscommunication. TZ does not care about the team fight. Just gonna go for Roshan, but no, Funic gonna kill the Roshan. Gonna get the Aegis as well. And oh no, Liquid just miscommunicating a little bit too much. Is I think if Bulba had not mistimed that Kinetic Field, the Static Storm was perfectly timed. The Kinetic Field, although, was not. And that allowed 2 of the heroes on the side of Empire to escape it. And, I mean, that might have just allowed TC to pick up the Aegis. But now Liquid, very, very bad position at the moment. Still no BKB just up on Luna just yet. And no ultimates in play for Liquid. It is not looking good for our heroes of North America. Illuminate gonna fly in, catching off Fluff. And where is Funic? Funic does not care, just gonna hit towers, gonna hit IX Mike as well. Saying you're not gonna fight back either. Here comes the Soulburn damage onto IX Mike. Clinkz is godlike, and the bottom barracks are gonna fall. Korok finally fishes the BKB, but doesn't have the Eclipse access, and it might be too late. Clinkz just does not care, rucking it down. Keep in mind, Clinkz does not have a creep up. Or maybe he did, but Clinkz does pick up a kill on Luna. Gonna turn around, kill Fluff, kill Bulba, kill TC, kill everybody. Gets an ultra kill. Might kill Fluff again for that rampage. Fluff, no! Run! Gonna turn around for Bulba. Oh my god, Funic! Ow! Rampage! Oh my god, Funic. Did he even lose his Aegis? No, he didn't. Funic's like, lol, Blue Brain, you're such a scrub. Why are you not 15-2-2 like me? Vacuum. And Liquid is just left scratching their head saying, where did we go wrong? As there's a couple reasons why I think Liquid, I mean, it's just not looking good. The mailbag is probably going to fall very soon. As Funic trying to look for a creep, not going to have a creep, saying, screw it, I have Aegis, it doesn't matter anyway. Tisa gonna roar up, but still does not want to initiate. Static Storm still on cooldown, and really, I mean, they have Song of Siren, but they want to have both of the ultimates up at the very least. But that is gonna mean the middle backs do die. Song of Siren is gonna be casted a little bit too late. Clink's trying to get set up. Bulba, does he have Static Storm just yet? Gonna finally cast Kinetic Field. Static Storm still on cooldown for quite a bit. BKB's popped on Luna. Here comes a wall of Replica as Korok is forced to retreat. But here comes Blow Your Brain, gonna try to cast a stun, trying to scare everybody off. You know, Funk's just like, screw you guys, going home. Or May's saying, screw you guys, gonna pick up a rapier. As AC rage quits, furious that is North American. AC is very patriotic, obviously. As Funic doesn't even care. He's just farming neutrals. He doesn't want Liquid to call GG just yet. I think that's what it is. No, he was hunting for a creep. Darksuit does die, as 3 of the heroes on side Empire die, but here comes Funic, gonna 2-shot Bulba, gonna 3-shot TC, gonna 1-shot essentially I expect 2-shot him. Fluff gonna die. Will Funic get a second rampage? He wants it so bad. GG's called by Bulba. Oh my god. I'm disappointed, Funic. No rapier. Can you get the rampage? Crit! 2 rampages in 1 game. In a span of about 3 minutes. Separate rampages, full rampages. And Liquid gonna lose to Empire in the Dota 2 Raidcall League 0-2. Empire still looking as strong as ever. They're only getting more and more powerful as time goes on, it seems like. And man, you should probably start banning out Funic Clinkz when they don't pick it up in the first phase, as it is just too good.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
But ultimately, Liquid gonna fall 0-2. Don't know if they've won a match yet in the Raidcall Dota 2 League. I think they've only played 2 matches. As Volva gonna die. TC, are you gonna die? Fountain farming going on. No, just a casual 1500 crit. Almost 3-shot Karok. Seems legit. As Throne finally does expire, Liquid gonna fall. As Empire continuing their winning ways, looking super powerful. And where did Liquid go wrong? Well, I mean, it's kind of easy to see. Liquid went for an extremely aggressive strategy, trying to get their skills up to their maximum potential. Ursa, a farming disruptor, really aggressive picks by them. But they couldn't really compete with the tri-lane. Karok could not get farmed. Even though they didn't really die in the tri-lane, really Karok could not find the room to farm up. And they really didn't have any lockdown whatsoever. Disruptor, Static Storm, not really the best disable. You could still attack through it. Shaladin, not really the best disable either. It's Disruption. I mean, it's good. Naga Siren has a song, has a net, but really, that's it in terms of stuns. And no real super stuns, like anything like a Stormhammer or a Roar or a Black Hole or a Reverse. Nothing like that. And yeah, Liquid relied on their team fight or their ultimates a little bit too much, whether it be Naga Siren, Song of Siren, or Disruptor Static Storm. They really couldn't take too many engagements. And Empire just, once they sort of recovered from Liquid's early game pressure, really, they just put on their own pressure, and there's honestly nothing Liquid could do to respond. As, yeah, that's going to be the end of this cast. So hopefully you enjoyed that cast. Hopefully we'll get some more good games up very, very soon. And thanks for watching. Let me know how 60 FPS looks, guys, as I appreciate the feedback. If it looks a little bit weird, I'll go back to 30 FPS. If you prefer this, I will continue at 60 FPS, but let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Streak lives on. Streak lives on. Peace.